Juma Silva Java no Malalo no Danda Daya Jana Dada Isanam Daya Damja Zebanya Dana Nyimbe Dana Bamji Namja Balan Java Ye Zabanzan Dova Dova Yo Jaga Geda Banga Vada Banja Baramada Randa Ya Bogeda Jamden Yeraja Barada Yamba Nimbo Bamba Jigonda Geda Geda Badu Jina Jamden De Jabu Jago Bombara Gelonga Gendan Jambo Don Yonja Zamba Gendan Jambo Don Tapjida Yude Dede Jamden Sama Nova Java Juja Namdon Jadinga Zanla Nyamba Yuso Yon Dede Yonja Zamba Zem Poba Yareze Onju Shiraja Barada Yamba Sama Yoba Nyala Namba Da Yin Pombo Ngabo Deda Layon Ronyan Je Tombarma Dawo Dene Sonje Jentu Sedon Demba Sharubu Yonja Zamba Zamba Jamba Gaje Mezo Rejaba Gonlala Shiraja Baroda Yamba Sama Yoba Dalaba Yade Gaje Meba No Yonja Zemba Zemba Jambo Baba Yere Onjega Zenon Demba Yarando De Balanda Gaje Mezo Yareba Rija Bam Rij Con la Shiraja Barada Yamba Sama Yoba Yebando Bade Dada Namba Dava Yade Pombo Ngabo Deda Ronjan Je Tomba Number Yon Daba Jeza Dao Zu Nomba Tomba Nyale Jon Zuso Zule Nanda Ye Nanda Yama Namba Yeba Nam Domba Yarebe Deda Judam Je Tomba Nyede Zenya Meba Ma Yeba Man Jama Don Java Java Meba Wo Yuma Mem Yareba Deda Bena Domba Nyala Zume Zova Me De Yeme Namba Sheba Me Mime Nava Me Name Jeme Lu Zume Dame Dame Rome Yeme Jume Do Mige Kame Bani Yuja Game Yujan Shiba Kamja Pada Omedo Mari Bame Mari Gashe me gashe sepe pada medo te yanda du ngava don kum joba don goba don lame ye toba me madoba medo yare ba de da ve na chonja samba namla toba me ba ye yeraja barot Shumbala tenji ni de senla duba me be taba me de yanja lole yanda den Nyangelen de badan tar shamdo te zanda nambar yuba zonje dam Shiraja baroda yambala dene lana medbar yonda bazoba yonja da gambar zo Sonje zo de davena shiraja baroda yambe nga riba jembe nga lana medbar Nyamba don nyambar yebe nga du nga dan jera da yeba yebe nga madan bina demba yeba Kira jabara da yembe nga meba deya da gade bara sam gade boda zova yarebe yon Zemba Jembo Deda Jera Jabara Da Yamba Zamala Laba Shao Dene Jamden De Dingen Dele Jingde Yonja Zemba Baba Jere the Onjula Lezo Java Jane Lexo Rikjaba Dede Jano Rejaba Jadar Joji Nembate Sama Sheba Shade Dejan Sheba Nam Jon Jeza Yorongo Jamden Deje Gaznije Adane Tedon Demba Sharan Dode Budon Yonjo Zemba Zemba on je dans tam je dans dembe ko te da dans la dans me dans la je ben je de yo ron de tam den de je son wa la ngam ba do de adam ga den ga de bara sam ga de ba de so de adam ga den ga de bara sam ga de Te adam gaden gade baran gade barazam gaden bode zo de adam gaden gade baran gade barazam gaden bode zo de adam gaden gade baran gade barazam gaden bode zo de adam gaden gade baran gade barazam gaden bode zo de adam gaden gade baran gade barazam te adam gaden gade baran gade barazam gaden bode zo de adam gaden gade baran gade barazam gaden bode zo de adam gaden gade baran gade barazam gaden bode zo de adam gaden gade baran gade barazam gaden bode zo de adam gaden gade baran gade Te adam gaden gade baran gade barazam gaden bode zo Namo lama la janzalo zonje la janzalo jola janzalo gendan la jan Yanjama jera jabara da jambala janzalo daga dembe zindo para jeji jadanga laya omba jajaji jera jabara da Tanzamaya la zamje zega denda jibala dene dede jan la soba manzamba yot Kirdoba Dejanda Dage Joyan Jemaje Raja Barada Yambe Dan Samo Yala Zamje Zigadan Daje Bala De Dejan La Zoba Mandamba Jodamje Kirdoba Jaje Meba Jaje Java Jaje Rada Java Jaje Gonga Denje Jema ba jeba me ba dame ba onva me ba drome ba dade deme denje ma druba nye je jene ma je mananje damba de la yanza lo Yandan bema geza dombala yandan joga ngodani bema jone jeza dan godan gan je jeza da je jinje lavgir jeza zon guru bema zada hon ojay Yandan bema geza dombala yandan joga ngodani bema jone jeza godan ganda momba go jeje jeza dan Jinja lavja jeza zon guru bema zada oje yelja na yandan bema geza dombala Yandan joga ngodani bema jone yezadan gordan gando mombo go jeje jezadan Yinja lagya yezadan gora bema zada Zagara jara bema gara jemonya jang Sosa namnya dede jaza zo gade lama namla sovande Yendra jonye no deje landa nyambe danga yon nada damba beba de yut Gonde joga zoba longjamba drume oz Yala Zavanda Yinja Barana Deza Zonje Ganja Ngovan Rosa Juga Ngazam Denzaba Zave Lame Yal Zavanda Yanza Anton Jeje Yavana Yeza Yaranga Yez Gawa Jonze Dage Jezaba Damje Dage Yonje Shungo Saje Buju Jujen Medo Dam Rara Lenje Nyede Jemba Sonje Yenda Medem Barwa Yen Dogan Nanda Yin Yoba Yo Nanja Zamba no Loya Jeda Jeda Jeja Dama Deba Ye Jeja Gol Gorda Zoy Anjave Yovan Jonye Dava Donjo Nyangava Malun Doga Yonza Donjan Doja Nyemba Dende Nyanza Manga Zembe Lala Jida Yala Zenjova Sule Namda Zamolam Shinda Jembo Zalva Ya Duzon Jedam Jejangovo Redon Jango Janza Jada Garan Zomba Meba Jenzedan Bodhe Zavala Marumbo Je Jabji Bemedo Dama Meba Langova Rada Dede Gosa Kuba Jembe Bodhe Shanza Jin Jablon Jo Da Jensen Jadam Jishinji Lapanze Da Zo Ninja Jembo Zoda Nima Je Zone Malam Jembo Ngaje Da Bekar Danga Sende Shemad Tumba Tuje Jente Da Shon She Ojen Zone Bema Dombo De Jalwe Namda Rongyon Lanje Da Zeno Zonye Beijing Sombar Pema Jone Dale Benzo Jean Mole Jalwe Sonson Jide Zoye Jedani Zoma Je Jujen Jime Doje De Son Longue Jide Nganye Nongje Zat Chuba Jenzo Kondo Sondon Dama De Jamba Doje Chera Long Bema Zendoran Janam Jaman Jebal De Demes Rejen Jebe Saso Kondo Reje Jadan De Janame Da Jean Je De Son Jende Bongo Vanya Jembe Donze Kama Barala Sovan De Sokinje Doji Shenje Lo Gada Landa Gomba Doba Don Nongjen Da Shenje Lendo Bara Yo Oman Jeje Inje Barane De Son Je Gonje Ngavanya Ronsan Je Gonga Son Tenzem Sevela Mejala Sovande Da Son Develo Na Jula Yo Gonda Joje Donganji Dena De Jelo Majirwa Gonsa Da Tindar Tamba Jujin Chen Bebe Sembando Batam Gender Ye Namo Aya Damba Laya Get No Lodo No Yang Get Javan Dando May Get Nam Drawa Ganje Dana Jadamba Damje Get the Jundan Jorwa Yo. So limitless of the sentient beings in order to obtain enlightenment, or therefore we are today going to listening teachings, and we have to think that listening as well as also practice what you are listening for benefit of the sentient beings, for the enlightenment. So with that motivation, and then on the top of that, it is very important to abandon of that four kind of the wrong views with the listening and the listeners, or listening teaching, the teachings and the teachers, etc. And also it's very important to applying for the four kind of right motivations, such like us who are listeners are more like a sick person, and the masters are doctors, and dharmas are medicines, in order to remove of our sickness, and then we are applying and also keep conducts are well. So with that kind of the mind, then we are listening the today's session or today's teaching. The teaching, the great chariot, a commentary on relaxing in the nature of the mind. nature of mind, the great perfection. So this teaching is belongs to the great perfection, which shows how to relaxing in nature of mind from the various of the negative emotions. Through that negative emotions, we are wandering into samsara, the beginningless. So the samsara is such like the place, like desert place. There's not really have any waters, as well as also any of the peoples, and even there is no path. So you have to imagine that we are middle of the desert, and desert is like really limitless. So there is no one, there is no path, there is nothing. So therefore, that person did try to walk and walk to reach the, some families, some peoples, or some drinks and foods and so on and so forth. So therefore, the person has really tiring, suffering, tremendous difficult situations. Then, of course, we are looking for the something to eat, to drink, to be stay, and etc. So there is no way, as well as we do not know how and where direction is actually a good way to walk. So we are middle of nothing and do not know what should we do. So similarly, something like actually some sari beings are like that. So therefore, then there suddenly appears some kind of the place that you can resting with shadows and etc. And then eventually you are cross of the desert. Similarity, we are resting in the four common thoughts, resting on the spiritual masters, resting in the refuge, resting our mind into the poor boundless, and resting mind into the bodhicittas. So each chapters are the like, where you can resting, where you can get some kind of drink and the foods and etc. So and that way also you will find, your paths to cross over that desert. So therefore, they are talking about relaxing in the nature of mind. The relaxing from the tiring of the wandering into the samsara. Such is the really kind of ocean of samsara, or desert without any directions, roads, and anything. Then person really great suffering from the heat, from the, like the sun are very hot from the up, and the desert very hot from the down. So person is tremendous sufferings. So certainly we find trees, shadows, waters, and eventually we have possibility to cross of this. So similarity of these teachings are like that. So we have to understand. And then this teaching has three main chapters: how to enter the main teachings and actual teachings, then conclusions. And today we are actual teaching. The actual teaching has 13 chapters. We are on the 8th. Then 8th, there is 3 chapters, there are 3 subjects. The says root of the all phenomena is the bodhicitta. In this case, all phenomena means the Mahayana teachings. And then how to generate that bodhicitta mind. And then the conclusion, dedication of the chapters. So today we are how to generate that bodhicitta mind. And there has 10 different subheadings. So today we are on the 10th. And 10th has 2, that says the brief of or teaching or comment of the all 6 parameters, and then individual explanations. So we are on the individuals. Then individual of this subject or subheading has also 7 lists. So today we are on the 6th. The 6th was, or 6th is we call the parameter wisdom. Paranjana, the realization and the natural state. So in order to realization of the natural state, we have to have the paranjana or wisdom. And that wisdom, it comes through the listening, analyzing, and meditations. So therefore, this paranjana that realize the nature has 3 lists. The first one is they're talking about the 3 kind of the wisdoms. So yesterday we have been taught those 3 kind of the wisdoms. Then when we talk about 3 kind of the wisdoms, and there was important things, and here we says that the key of the teachers and actual teachers, these 2 things are very important. So yesterday, the page number 393, they're talking about approaching awareness. Is the key of the treasure. Then the actual treasure of the dharmas. These is 2 things here. The first one, the key, approaching awareness of the key has 2. One is they call the meaning or true meaning, and then provisional meanings. So whatever taught about more relative, and the relative teachings of the Buddhas and relative teachings of the history or commentary on the Buddha's oral teachings are more, they call provisional meanings. And then such they're talking about absolute meanings. For example, all phenomena, nature is totally perfect, pure, the nature of the mind is luminosity, and etc. Also they're talking about unchangeable, beyond the remaining cessation, arising, etc. Meaning is also we call true meaning, and whatever express words by the Buddhas as well as commentaries, those we call teaching of the 2 meanings. So these 2 we have to understand. So there afterwards something. When Buddha told about the sentient beings, the sufferings, the many things, you can think, these are maybe provisional meanings. And then when Buddha says the purity of the luminosity, unchangeable of the reality, Dhammakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nimanakaya, whatever we talk is you can say, those the meaning is, true meaning. Those teachings are like true meaning of the teachings. So these 2 things, if you know well, then you can, big things you can also comprehensive. I think they say comprehensive, or you really knew what they are talking. So that was first of the key. Then second key was they're talking about second key was they're talking about what is called intention and hidden intentions. So these 2 is also very important. So Buddha sometimes says that he is equal of the all Buddhas. So that they has purpose, purpose. We said that all, we often hear from in the Tantric teachings also, says all Buddhas are one. but they just have different manifestation and so on and so forth. What is exactly meaning? All Buddhas are one. For example, Confucius says all Buddhas are one. One essence or one. So what does that really mean? The meaning is that equal of the what, not equal of the form, but equal of the, yesterday they're talking about equal of the merit, equal of the wisdom, equal of the dhammata, equal of the activities. So therefore, all Buddhas are equal. Equal, all Buddhas are equality, I think, equality. And also similarity, that I want to tell one more clarified, that page number 399, about the teaching of the, what is that called? The teaching called the intention of the another meaning, or having intent the essencelessness of the three natures. So earlier, Buddha told to the people that all phenomena are essenceless. What exactly meaning of that? For example, here we see essence. You can see clearly this essence. We can say it's water. It has essence, right? We say this water is essence, and this is light essence. But then, when Buddha says essenceless, you have to understand three ways. The all relatives. We call this the kuntak. Kuntak is more translators. They're translated as imaginations. So whatever appears are, or whatever appears, are not really truly exist. Not truly exist as it is. So that's why whatever appears are, we call, there's no such characteristics. So for example, water, the 6 different type of sentient beings, when they look into the water, they have different appearances. So therefore, there was no characteristic of the water such never change, If they have some kind of characteristics, then all 6 beings, they should see same things, but not. As well as those, who have general sickness, and when you see the white, when you look at the white, and you see yellow, and then person who have no general sickness, he see white. So as soon as his general sickness doesn't go away, you cannot change of this white to yellow to white because of his problem. So therefore, I think they says that imaginary of the things or appearances are not really has such characteristic what you see. So there's characteristic less. So that is the reason also. That's the reason also Buddha says there's no essence. Then we talk about independence, other dependence or independence, interdependence. So whatever interdependence, there's no really truly arising. There's no characteristic of the arising or truly arising, because you are independent. So as soon as we call interdependent something, that means there's no such really born or arising, because you are independent. So there has no such arisings. So that means also all phenomena are independent. So therefore there's no such arising. So that's the reason also all phenomena are essenceless. Essenceless of the arising, essenceless of the characteristics. And then these two are more like relative, okay, more like relative. And then absolute, they're talking about yondup. So I think the translation Yongdrup was they translated the Yongdrup was completely perfect reality. So such like enlightenment, such like absolute truth. The absolute truth has no really essence of the such, you can say this absolute truth. We cannot show because absolute is, it has to go beyond the also our dualism minds. So as long as we talk about dualism mind, then there is no such like things, the object, and we say this is something absolute truth, and so on and so forth. The absolute truth is once your subject goes higher and higher, and then when you see the reality of the appearances, that is we call absolute truth. So the absolute truth doesn't have such really essence or like things, like materialism or mental fabrication and so on and so forth. It's go beyond that. So therefore, then there is no really essence. So that is like absolute essence. There is no absolute essence. There is no absolute arising. There is no absolute characteristics. So this, in order to understand of these three, or Buddha says all phenomena are essenceless. Or then when Buddha says all phenomena are essenceless, then Buddha means that, these three characteristiclessness, arisinglessness, and essencelessness. So that's the reason that Buddha says all phenomena are essenceless. Okay? So that was little more clarified. So however, for examples also, for example, that the hiddenness has also the saying that making one entered, in Tibet word Hyupo Dembo Gombas, hidden of the making entered. For example, when the Paden George Paden Atisha is great Bodhisattva, and same time he is pure monk. But he was in the Bodh Gaya, and then the two pure monks came. And then Atisha tried to telling Mahayana teachings to them, but they don't understand. They don't really understand, or they don't want to hear. And they think that, they care of their vows, such the renunciation. They try to really liberate from the negative emotions by themselves. So, but then Atisha was very sad, how he can think only himself, because Atisha was pure Bodhisattva and also monk. There is no contradiction. He should think something little better, but he thinks that is not needed, and what he practiced is perfectly, totally fine. So therefore, then Atisha, he says that he pressed more bodhicitta, like push a little down of that monk's, vow or the renunciation. So that doesn't mean Atisha disrespect of the Patimoksha vows or the paths, but his intention was more saying of his intention was try to bring him on high level, or bring him like in the enlightenment path. So therefore, he pressed the bodhicittas and he little pushed down of the renunciation vows. Those are how they entered, bring into the intention was like he bring up. So similarity, there is like took intentions and then hidden intentions. Intentions and hidden intentions. So hidden intention has like very much dependent on their thinking, in hidden intention. Means that someone too much clinging something, And then the Buddha want to change that. But if he say directly, it cannot accept this person who are listener. So therefore, he telling different, but his intention was different. So he telling little bit what he doing, and then same time, try to bring him a little bit, better, and so on and so forth. So that we call hidden intentions. So these two, intention and hidden intention, is the second, the key. Second, the key. And then they're talking about the treasure. And the treasure of the Dharma has also two. The first is true truths, and then second is more interdependent origination. So these two are the quite important. So true truths. True truth is also Buddha, when he really explanations of the all phenomena, when he devises all phenomena, when devices, he display or he expression two truths. And then when we talk about cause and condition of the samsara and the nirvana, he expressed four truths. So the four truth was like more the first wheel of the Dharma teachings, we call fundamental of the Buddha's teaching, but then two truths are more like his middle of the wheel of Dharmas. So like more explaining how he devises all phenomena, but other one is more emphasize cause and result of the nirvana and as well as the samsara. So therefore, now what here talking is when he explanations or devising all phenomena, there is only two truths. There's no more truths. No more truths. Only two truths that today we are going to tell here. So here says, the two subjects present among the object of the comprehension of the Dharma treasure has two. So first, as for the teaching, is the style of the two truths. It means more his description of the all phenomena into two truths. So now here, the Nagarjuna's teaching, the root of the Madhyamaka, we call Madhyamaka Alam Karikas. It looks like, oh, that's okay. Alam Karika says, the Buddha's teaching the Dharma rightly depend on the two truths, the worldly relative truth and the truth of the ultimate meanings. Sonji namji chui denpa denpa nila yongda tenji den kundu denpa tong tambe tenji denpa ose. And then similarity from the sutta of the meeting of father and son. It means, when Buddha became, he become like, he abandoning of the kingdoms. So the Buddha's father was really upset, very angry with him. So therefore, Buddha went to the meditation, Buddha became enlightened, Buddha became training of the Dharma. After many years, the father don't want to see him, So he don't want to see him because he think that he did very bad decision. Of course, his point of view that is bad decision because he abandoned of the kingdoms. But then, after many years, Buddha was become new kind of leader of the religions and become very popular. Then father think maybe I should meet him. And of course, then Buddha is full of the compassionate, so he don't care what he says or what he does. So they meet together. So when they met, and then there's discussion about teachings, and that teaching called Sutta of the meeting father and son. Okay? So in that text now says here, the truth of these who are skilled in the world, the just these two, you have received no other that were seen by me. These are the relative truth and absolute truth. besides them, there is no third of any kind at all. So in this case, there's no fourth truth, and like something like that, but there's different object, different subject, okay? Subject something when we talk about cause and result of the samsara and the nirvanas, then they're talking about four truths, but subject that when he really devises of the all phenomena, then two truth is more than enough. So therefore, there's no third truths. But so because of these teachings, so two truths are also these four schools of the Indians, they have to accept. But the things that way of the recognition of the two truths are four schools are very different. Very different, but it will coming down. But here now more they're talking about the Madhyamika or Mahayanas now way of the recognizing of the two truths. So therefore they don't choose shawa rongyang zamshi yewi yishini nonglula kunzo jidemba tong nilula tendam jidemba nis hios. So here says here the mere nature of so-called dhammas in made into basis of division, then the way things appear is called the relative truth, and where the things are is called absolute truth. So what does this mean? You know, dhamma, merely dhamma. You know, normally we say dhamma, normally we say samsara, and then cause and result. So the samsara is like kind of base. But of course, samsara is not different than cause and result. You know, if there's no cause, if there's no result, there's no samsara. But still we can say the like samsara and then cause and result. And sometimes we talk about knowable and then permanent and impermanent, existing and not existing. So like that knowable is more like how you could say, kind of foundation, you know, basis. But if you remove of the permanent, impermanent, then there's no such knowable. But knowable is just your intellectually how you are devices. So similarity here, so yes, we call like phenomena, you know, Dhamma means phenomena. It's like basis, and there has two truths. How the way appearance is the relative, and where it is the absolute truth. And then in testings also, the two divided into these two means also where the appearances has also two things. You know, appearances we call relative truth, and there has also two things. So, okay, and there were things is the absolute truth, and it is divided into these two. Also, within the way things appear, there are the confused and non-confused, you know, confused and non-confused. It's two kind of appearances. Two kind of appearances. That appearances, whatever appears, also the right one. And then something appears totally confused or wrong one. They call it confused one. Right one is non-confused, okay? So therefore, for example, like whatever Buddhas appears are more like the not confused ones. What sentient beings appearance are, we call confused one, because these are the not right, you know. And where Buddha's appearance and our appearance is a big difference. So the two kind of way to appearances. So in the Vajrayana practitioner, we talk that there appears water, earth, everything as deities. So those are the more non-confused one. But then we see as everything as like, you know, water and so on and so forth. Those are the more confused one, okay? Noli laon talwa to mantra but yesos. 동번 생전지 돼서 마삼 주베 롱전 천농 천전 최희라 샤와 진예바 탐제도. So now they're talking about is what is the confused one. The first is means that what the confused one. Nature of speech, thought, expression at the time of existence as a sentient beings. Because why these are the confusion one? Because this is also all is dissolve nature, changeable, miserable. I think miserable is what? Unhappy, right? Or suffering, and so forth. It is the appearances of objects to our confusion mind. So our mind is also confusion mind. So therefore, this object, the object itself is changing all the time. Like when you are a kid, what you see of the seed, sense, and scent, kids, they're playing with scent. And where they see of the sense, and the kids players, where that kids, the mind, when the kid's mind change, all his playgrounds, playing things are there, but not anymore playing things. So the object is also changed because of our mind is confusion mind. So mind become more improving, the object will be more different way. So therefore, one day if you are become bodhisattvas, then now what we think of the really, like the gods are very important. The Buddha's point of view, nothing. But for us, we think the God is very important. So therefore, the important one, if we offer to the, like Buddhas or doing some ornaments, that way you can collect merit also. But in Buddha point of the view, there's no such really kind of joy of something. So they see it really meaningless. So therefore, here says that it is appearances and object, it confused mind. So therefore, the appearances we call confused ones. Then what is called? The next is no yin no hi. Then masam jubi tabishana senjen lu samjo the jubi sonji jong te lo yurume taba yimbe tenla mare bishunas. Oh, it's still the continuous, okay? What they call the mind. Since these are the level of the speech, thoughts, expression. So as they are thought of expressed by sentient beings, such imputations with mental imaging do not touch upon the reality of the Buddhahood, and they are called confusion. So whatever we give labels, says, these are the just object of your word and thoughts. So whatever object of the word and thoughts are not true, not reality. What you mean, what mean of the object of the word? Object of word is also powerful. So when we say water, the object of the water is really not water, right? But people get really water there. If you say, could you bring a cup of water? So I cannot really express real water, and you cannot really think of the really water in your head. But the object of the sound and object of the thought, they're kind of linked, and then the actual water you will bring. So this kind of, actually the object water is totally empty when you are saying of the water. And object of the thinking of water is totally empty. There's no water such. But when they have, like people, these two, the word and conception put together, then they bring actual things, right? So therefore, here they're also talking about speech, thought, express are just a name. There's nothing. When you say fire, we cannot talk about really fire. The object of the word of fire is not fire. But when your labels brings it together, okay? So therefore, just everything a name, label. We are all work. Your thinking is label, talking is label, and that way something you feel now you got something, that is also label, okay? So therefore, all phenomena are label, but still we think these are the real, these are the true. So that is called confused ones. Torachedosi, Tetu Noado, Ripao, Regi, Denza, Nisan Noala, Tuni, Gonzoton, Lobin, Lovi Gonzo Shade, Noadon, Tumber, Tenshi, Nupa, Jilishi, Tembe, Amber, Tembe Noa, the Sajiman, no Shava Tabu, to be Yonda Gonzoton. Okay, then there is also another two kind of divisions. Here they're talking about. Now confusion one, then next one is what they says is the appearances, and what is this next one? Apprehension. What is apprehension? Or what you are see, right? Apprehension, what you are know. Is the term depends on dualistic appearances of incidental truth and fleshy. So, of course, here says like, I think term, this depends on. So, for example, now we are here, we see these are the truth. Like you are really truly listening, and I truly teaching, we are truly reading. These are the relative, but this relative is something, this moment it's truly happening. But maybe when you go more and more high visions, maybe these are the also maybe fake. But somehow the reiki means, here says, the term, this term of depends. Some term, what you are. For example, when you are a child, what you see of those are the kind of the correct appearances, And when you grow up, maybe that is not correct. But so similarity, like sometimes something kind of correct ones, and then the correct one and then also incorrect one, okay? So there is the relative appearance itself, also there is two things. Appearances of incidental truth and felicity, or falsity, kind of two things, which appearances, maybe it will come actually. The true is that, and the true and fleshy relative, they both are the relative, and those of the true relative have an effective power according with appearances. For example, water appearance here, if you are drink, it will be effective, effective for your thirsty and etc. And effective, and those of the we call true relative have effective power recording with appearances, and they arising from the causes, and they are isolated by examinations. Okay. Also, they appear in the orderly way. They are classified under earth, water, 5 year, with the knowledge of what is intrinsic to these. Or those are the more like called correct or relative. Correct relative at the moment of when we are in the samsara. They are correct, And then also this next one. Noa tenhe munipas, for appearances with no effective power, like the appearance of the two moons. Two moons, if we put, what is this English? Pressure on the eye. Other flesh relatives. Other relatives. So, there's many other things, of course, but they're talking about dawa ninong. So sometimes when you, little condition of your eyes, you can see many moons. It's up here. Up here like 2, 3 moons. But it's really two. Is there 2, 3 moons? No, that is just your this appearance is something wrong, What they call English? Appearances of the, appearance with no effective power, like the appearances of 2 moons if we push on eyes, the one diverse, as well as also dreams, when you have the dreams, as well as we talk about the general sick person, whatever appears. And also, and they're talking about also some sick, also you see the many hairs on your eyes. So we call trachin zanons. Those are they appear something. It's not really absolute. This is not like confusion, what's called this, not confusion of the relative. This belongs to should be relative, but this call what they call this fleshy, I think, falsity. What is falsity? Falsity. What is falsity? Not real, not true. So therefore, the relative has two. And then also 2 kinds of appearances. Appearance with fault and appearances no fault. So these are the little different than this truth of relative and fleshy of the relatives that you have to know. Because the first one, confused appearances and non-confused appearances means, non-confused appearance means more like what Buddhas appear. Buddha's appearance. Buddha should have appearance of the all phenomena, right? And those are we don't call confused one, because those are not rely on the dualism mind. Then whatever appear of the sentient beings, and that appears we call confusion one, because our mind is already confused by the object. So therefore, confused one. That is 2 way of the appearances, okay? And then here they're talking about they appear to have an effective power because of whether they have it or do not. They are distinguishing as being true or false. This division are made in the relative. So those are something that really you can use, can affect, then we call correct relative or true relative. And then something appear but we cannot use. That is the called falsy relatives. Such example of the, these 2 moons in the eyes, or many things happening in the dreams, and so on and so forth. Then they both, if you really check from the absolute point of view,
they both are equal. You know, they both are no essence, they both are no effective, they both are not really. So therefore, they both are actually relative, but just point of the ordinary mind, and then they have two difference or two big difference. So therefore, then that is very, the both of these, when the nature is evaluated means what? Evaluated, or evaluated. You know, if you point of the absolute, or then you are really point of the reality, then the both are equal, because they are equal of arising from the habit pattern of confusion, one thing. And they are equal in appearance to the individual sense, is two things. And though they are effective producing appearances from the incidental viewpoint of confusion, those are the reasons. So though they are effective producing appearances from the incidental viewpoint of confusion, all the objectives viewed by the eye confusion needs, eye consciousness, and so forth are equal, natureless. So those are the, if you talk about natural point of view, even natureless, of course the wrong or the fallacy is natureless, but also even the two relative also natureless in the, if you think of the from the nature point of view. So nature point of view, they both are equal, but the only relative point of view, they are one we call correct one we call fallacy one, because that doesn't really, you can use, you know, water, really water, you can use as drink. Pitcher of water, you cannot use as water. So therefore, fake. So that is the difference. Oh, you know, and then they're talking about next one is, this is non-confusion of the creations, non-confusion. That I think they're talking about confusion appearances and non-confusion appearances. So now they're talking about here this, the non-confusion of creation. So what you need to know is whatever appears are relative and what is empties are absolute truth. That is like really the root division or devices, okay? Then from they're talking about appearance, you know, appearance has then relative, and relative has two things. But now they're talking about this non-confusion of creation. So if this also relative, okay, because this is also appearance, they're talking about appearances. So whatever appearances are relative. So relative doesn't mean very bad or something, okay? The relative has two. One is confusion and one is non-confusion. So what the confusion is like, already we can description. They have two also, like even they appear as water, fire, all those are relative. Those are the confusion one. But that relative has also, we can call two relative and fallacy relatives, kind of two things you have to understand. Now non-confusion creation. So these are the non-confusion creation, and the wisdom that is the ground of the path together with the Buddha qualities, the previous impermanent true relative, which is called non-confused from the viewpoint of crossing over the nature. So now they're talking about the non-confusion of the relative, and individually Mantrapalas, why we call like such, for example, the paths, the grounds, the wisdoms, the qualities, why we call non-confused. And because those, like wisdom, the path also changing, right? The first says whatever changes are confused relative. But now they're talking about here path, wisdom, quality. These are also change. So quality always increasing, right? Path you have to go, join, seeing, meditation you have to go. Bhuminsa you also have to go. So they are changing. But still they call these are the non-confused. Why these are the non-confused? Then even they are also changed. But then here says because this non-confused, because through this you can truly you find a result. So there's no failure. If you go through this, you find truly your result. So therefore, they put here non-confused. So therefore, here says, Yante Nochi Panjeshin Kondo Dobi Matachon, Hiji Sadobala Tuni Mantrabashi Joba Yenos. The non-confusion of the relative, I want to tell again, such the wisdom, the path, like 5 paths, 10 bhumis, the qualities, increasing qualities, and so on and so forth. So these are, even though impermanent, but still we call two relative, as well as non-confused relative. So why we call? Because the crossing over to the nature. So it's like it doesn't failure. If you really go this path, it doesn't failure. So you find the really like result. No. So then he put here Uttaratentas word. Lamden tamji duji tamji lobachi songwan ponje shepa tong kondu dogu buchani songji duji yendong lu kipa mayanos Dev topi mantalwa songji ji zug mahi pa tong kipa woman na yupa te deyong ponje mepa. Okay, then I think all tool of the path and compounded are compounded. All compounded things are dissipate. What means dissipate? What means dissipate? It's like failures. Yeah, full, right? So Buddha himself also says all compounded are impermanent, deceive, fail, and so on and so forth. So therefore, the path is also compounded. All compounded things are deceive. That was Buddha taught. So therefore, then now here, why path is now non-confused? Why these are the two relatives? And then he talking here the below, I think they're talking. So here says, this is taught because, then now this is why the Buddha says, why Buddha says the path and compounded or are non-confused, and why Buddha says then the path and qualities are non-confused. Why Buddha says non-confused? Because they are also compounded. They are changed. So why Buddha says then this path and Buddha quality, etc. are non-confused. So now he will describe that. This is taught because these truths produced change, and because of the privation purpose of crossing over. However, these are not the same as the other kind of compounded entirety that has the manner of being deceptive. So now you have to know two things. The path is, if non-confused, then why paths are then confounded? That is one thing. Why paths are confounded? If the path is non-confusion, if the path is real or true relative or non-confusion, then why paths are confounded? Because what Buddha says is whatever confounded one is impermanent and deceptive and so on and so forth. So that is the one reason. So then here this correction is why we say changing, because it has to go, like up and up. So therefore, the path we call confounded. But this confounded is not same as others confounded. That's what he says. So therefore, what you need to understand is that path is confounded, but also path is non-confusion, and path is not deceptive. So this confounded is not same as things, substances, and so on and so forth. Okay? Then next reason is Drivatopi Mantrapas. However, these are not same as the other kind of compounded inside the manner of the deceptive, and by attaining the fruition with the knowledge of the Rupakaya of the Buddhas and it is awareness for those who are binded in Akanishita, this non-confused relative of fruition is changing less. So this brings to the changing life of the result, or you are really reach into the Akanishitas. So therefore, these are the not same as others. You obtain the really result, such like form of the Buddhas, which has also wisdoms. So means actually form kayas and wisdom kayas will be that quality, that consciousness will transform into that, or that reaches into the unchangeable kind of result. So that's the reason, that is the another reason what we call is non-confusions. Ordinary visions, they cannot bring such things. But still these are the called relative, because these are the appearances. So appearances are relative, the emptiness are the absolute truth. So these two are the union, actually. These two are the not difference, just way of the, display. I think maybe something like that, correct English. Then here they're talking about it is impermanent and self-existing. Oh, sorry, now what is that? It is impermanent and self-existing. So this is impermanent and self-existing. He translates as self-existing, but normally we say spontaneously presence is correct, rather like impermanent and self-existing. Oh, it's permanent, yeah, permanent. It means that like spontaneously always presence, so therefore they call permanent, okay? This permanent is not same as relative permanent. So when we call relatively permanent something, and then you should have something, and that is permanent. But now here, this like always presence, the Dhammatha, or reality is always presence, spontaneously. You know, ordinary permanent is the first you have to say arising from something, and then they will be permanent. That is the wrong way of the talking. That we don't accept in Buddhism. But this permanent is different than those kind of permanent. So here more spontaneously always presence is more like and also it is the treasure of the perfect Buddha qualities. So that was like talking about attaining the fruition. This attaining fruition came through the paths, the bhumis, the qualities, you know, increasing of the qualities. So those are the relative, but this relative we call non-confusion, because they really, it brings the true reality. So ordinary appearances we call confusion, because these are the nothing linked with the really path, the result, the ground, and etc. So ordinary relative has also two kind of, you know, they call falsy and true relatives. So you have to know these things, which is very important. So then, you know, true truth, appearances, and emptiness. Permanent, a treasure of the perfect Buddha qualities. And then, and as the great appearances of the mandala and so forth, these are the, we call the fruition of the result, attain of the result. So forth, it is perfect mastery of the wisdom of extent. What is extent?
Could mean either existence or the extent.
Extent. So whatever appearances, you know, whatever appearances. So the great practitioners, even you are not completely Buddhas, but your vision, you know, you can see the Buddhas. For example, Jimelingpa, he have appearances of the Jawal Longchenpa 3 times. So is this what you call? This, we cannot say this confusion, right? This, we cannot call this confusion relative. But we cannot call that is also absolute truth, because these are the appearances. But those are the, we call non-confusion relative. Those are the, it comes from the, your increase of your practice. Those are the very good for the, get the result of the such things. So that's why no confusions. Extent, and though as appearance it called relative, inseparable from Dhammakaya, it abides changingless like the sky. This matter will be extensively explained below. So maybe we will hear these things in the below. And then what is called noyon, the yulongola no ponjo yoba no telam ponjo don't about medes. Chedi number no chichen ponjo the noyon. Okay. And then now they're talking about Nimanakayas. You know, like for us, also sentient beings, you can also see the Nimanakayas, right? Like Buddha Shakyamuni, Guru Penma Sambhava, you see those. And how it happened, then they're talking about this kind of appearances. So turukuna deji noa le sabaton sonji. So Nimanakaya is composed of appearances for those to be tamed by the compassion of the Buddhas, and these appearances are spontaneously present. So here I think that I'm not sure, I can't find here exactly, but here Tibetan word says appearance is two things. One is the tame ones has merit to see as Buddha. You know, they collecting merit as well as then Buddha's compassionate come together, then spontaneously appear such like Buddha's form. So Nimanakaya is composed appearance of those two. So what is composed? The composed is something. What composed? What is composed here talking? I know composed is relative, but what composed?
I think it means in this context, put together.
Together what?
Nirmanakaya composed for sentient beings. I think that's
That doesn't make sense. What do you mean? Nimanakaya composed to sentient beings. What does it mean that? So Tibet what says the sentient beings, they composed or the collection of the merit, sakwa. You know, like they make collection of the karma. Actually, directly translation is the terms or sentient beings, they collect of the karma, and then Buddha has compassionate. When they come together, then Buddha appeared. Nimanakayas appeared. Okay? So that is the real mean here. So if there's something wrong, then you can change. So composite of appearances of those terms means like Buddha composite of these sentient beings?
what it means.
This doesn't make sense, you know. So the sentient beings collecting of the karma as well as also the compassion of the Buddhas. So you can say the by compassion of the Buddhas and collection of the karma of the terms then appear as spontaneously present. That was the really meaning here, okay? From the viewpoint of the mind of these who are to be tamed, this seems to be changed. But in the reality, no change exists. Then I have to read again. Nondo to be no young, Ronsen the Taba Mete, Cosondanda Mebe Ngova Chigla, Chugu Ponji Mebe Heroes. Chidin no be channeling Ponji, the Longolam Ponji Yobata Noyon, the Alan Ponji Mess. So when the Buddha Nimanakaya appear, of course the sentient beings' mind, the viewpoint of the sentient beings, we see those are the change. Such Buddha appear, be born in the king's son, married, meditation, giving teaching, and the end he paranimana. It's changing all the time. It's like change, right? And those changing is now they're talking from the viewpoint of mind of those who are tamed. There seems to be change. Means what means that in English? There seems to be change means what? What change?
It means from the viewpoint
Of sentient beings?
it looks like change.
Change means what? Who?
Like Buddha change.
Oh, Buddha, right. They're talking about the Buddha, okay, not anything else. Their viewpoint, the Buddha Nimanakaya is change. But in the reality, the Buddha Nimanakaya is never changed. So that is the now topic. Why it's never changed? Then he gives some examples, I think. Sorry, that's missing. Okay, then we have to check what is the really ones. Oh, missing you very much. Right, Isam? Missing and missing you, Isam. Okay. So now we say, missing you very much. Now it's here. Something good words, right? Okay, like the moon in the water, it appears to change from the condition of the vessels in which it is reflected, but the real things whose characteristic is not established is changeless. So this is the very important example, okay? So Buddha, when you have circumstances of vessels, waters, right positions, and pure skies, and then, sorry, our missing is falling down. No, then what happened is there's many moons appear. But at the same time, there's only one moon. At the same time, the moon is never come into the earth. At the same time, you also see the moons everywhere, right? Yeah, everyone using mobile phone, so I also using my pen. So then we are good class. Okay, so this is a similarity. The form of the Nimanakaya of Buddha is just actually a reflection on the water of the merit of the sentient beings, the circumstance of his compassionities. You know, like compassionate of the purity of the sky and merit of your vessel of the water. And then, of course, then when the right tank came, then it appears. So when the vessel broken, the one vessel broken, the one moon is gone, and two vessels broken, two moon is gone, right? But still, the real moon is never changed. Just changing of the vessel, just changing of the circumstances. So similarity just so, though the body appear to beings who are to be tamed, it is essential, creedless, characteristic are not established. So it means that there is no such real moon in the vessel, but appear as moons. So similarity, I think they are talking about same things. Chidi number no chi chen lim phuwan jenayon dawa rongsen to mare neji. So because of that, actually, because there is no such characteristic of the moon there, so therefore moon never have any problem. You know, moon always the same. So similarities, when the Buddhas appear, is also same things, but maybe it will going on. The three kaya are of one nature. So three kayas are just one nature. Vessel of the pure beings like Bodhisattvas, they appear more Buddha Sambhoga kayas. And then vessel of the impure beings, and they appear Buddha Nimana kayas. But the reality moon of Buddha is they are Dhammakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nimanakaya are one, equal, same, etc. So therefore, the three kayas of one nature without gathering or separations is never, ever. This is because Dhammakaya is changingless. Dhammakaya is changingless. Deon namge dawani chidin joje de ngowa chibi manjirwa tar chulukong long ngole hundred no tela chaba maybe ponjir me jeans. Okay, so moreover, just as the moon in the sky establishes the moon in the water, but is not of one nature with it. Similarly, though emanations spontaneously appear from the state of the Sambhogakaya, Sambhogakaya is reality changingless, and nothing is real established. Okay. Namge dawanya chidin joyet ngowa chibi manjeba tar tulba long ngole hundred no tela chaba maybe ponjemetos. Okay. So actually the water or the moon moreover just that moon in the sky established the moon in water, right? But moon in water, but at the same time, in the water, there is no such moon. So therefore, but it not of nature is it. I think maybe that is the reason. Similarity, the also emanation of the Nimanakaya, no matter it change, gone, whatever. So that is the like same, like vessel of the moon. So the really Buddha is, they can emanate the reflection from the Sambhogakayas. So Sambhogakaya itself changeless. So therefore, the Nimanakaya is also not changed. So nothing is really established. Okay? Hope you can get something. Though from the viewpoint of those who are to be trained, means like us, they appear to change. Of course, also change and nothing happens. What does that mean? The ye nongola no the ye nongo ponje the no is what you hear here? What do you mean? Nothing happened. Okay, Sambhoga is nothing happened. Oh, I think looks like. Tina no which tamada tamje konzoji dembi duban dodos. Okay. Thus all aspect of appearances, pure and impure, are gathered under relative truth. Then here they're talking about maybe we can short break and then we go to the absolute truth. Shila soba me Bama
Bama
So now they're talking about absolute truth. Dendam dembana huge nilu going Absolute truth is the nature of things as they are. And then Madhyamika Alamkarakas, this is Nagarjuna's teaching, the root of the old Madhyamika. It means Nagarjuna is one of the first who really openly teach the Mahayana teachings, and he had also many of the commentaries on the Madhyamika. So after many Madhyamika teachings kind of based on here, or this the like main Madhyamika's history or Tenchu commentary on the Buddha's teaching. Here says, Yenli himan hibaratong, tuba namji madhuba namdo medo tade me tena tenyen senyo tos. Not to be known from another, it is peaceful. Not completed by complicity, and with no discursive thoughts and different meanings. And they are what is called its characteristics or its definitions. So means that actually that says, the not to be known from others. So the really reality, we should kind of come through your own meditation. It doesn't come from the someone's, master saying something and you thinking something. It doesn't really come to reality, because to reality, it has to be your own experience. That is one thing. And if we say something, if we think something, then it will become more complicities, I think, complicities. So not complicated by complicities. So complicity, or sometimes they call, what we call elaborations. So if we're thinking, if we're talking about reality, it never happens. So therefore, it should be not like that. And Nando madness, so he says, with no discussion of the thought. So therefore, the meaning also has no such differences, because differences are made by our conceptions. So something beyond the conception, beyond the elaborations, beyond the word and sound and thoughts, and that we call the definition of the absolute truth. And of course, then it will be talking more. Kowa no nyangalende be chue tamji zomani ngowa nye meji samjo tamji ji yelende ba to ma to ju lo ma ya ba chikta de ji kinle me ba. These are they're talking about definitions. All the Dhamma means phenomena of the samsara and the nirvana are primordially natureless. They transcend all object and speech and thoughts, not realized by concepts, and they are not classifying of the mind. Also here says that there is no such what's called classable. Okay. They are not classifiable by mind, such they said realize it or not realize it, and etc. Whatever we say realized and not realized, these are the conceptions, these are the thought. So there are no proclamations. Say again? Proclamations. Statement of what? Okay. There are sameness and difference. So we cannot say same, because it's no many things. If only one or something, we cannot say same. So these are the beyond the one or many. So therefore, we cannot say the same or difference. Make sense? Oh, that was the talking here. So the same text says, Sonji inji ten genamji temba dit chirwate tenchi mayan tadema cheba mayan tamayas. Regarding the amita of the teaching, these are the really amita. These teachings can kill all of our conceptions, dualisms, thoughts, negative emotions, and so on and so forth. So amita of the teachings of the Buddha, protector of the world, Buddha, protector of the world, the meaning is the neither one or no different. It is the neither nothingness or internals, neither nothingness or internal. Normally, if something existing, then we talk about is this impermanent or permanent, and then existing or not existing. So those kind of reality is the beyond the really existing and not existing, beyond the like conception. So therefore, we cannot say this is nothingness, or we cannot say this is like internal. What is internal? Eternal is like permanent. Jesus, no sun kondi tamji loi kongla zonge tateba tajong tamji yene namgerong. This is also wonderful. However, he says, since everything is primordially pure as the nature of the sky, nothing is pure, impure, both or neither. It is complicity and pure, complicity, pure, completely, it is completely pure, means it is beyond the scope of object create mind. So, whatever appears, the ordinary mind we always say is good, bad, nice, not nice, and so on and so forth. But the point of the absolute truth, there is no such that kind of graspings, So therefore, there is no such kind of this kind of things. This is Mahayana. But in Vajrayana, whatever appears as this, nothing, they just came from the mind. They are luminosity. So therefore, even more deep. But here, we don't talk. Luminosity means that pure wisdom without any of this diversity of conceptions. So even the whatever appears, they appear based on that. But here says there are not such, pure, impure, whatever. They're not description of luminosity. That is the differences. Sometimes you can think. These are the totally beyond the scope of the object created by mind. The same text says, "Tamche yonda yonda ma yonda yonda mayanya yonda mayon yonda ma tena sonji temba was." All is the same meaning, but they put one intention, not either true or no, not true. If someone says it's not, someone says not true, maybe they think that not true is existing. So therefore, all is not either true, but also not true. All is not true as well as not true. Not true is also not true. All is the not neither true or not true, and that is the teaching of the Buddhas. Okay? You can think here for counting what is not true, what is not true. If you put on the paper these numbers, then maybe you will find. Hingor, the viewpoint, okay, the hingor kile tamje in debate, ngobo kondong to manyo ba yimbi heroes. So for example of the eco point of the noble ones, or their point of the view, the point of the nature is the beyond the all proclamations. This is because it is beyond all identification of essence, though it is like this, has been proclaimed. This is the view of ego and so forth. 그거는 좀 많이 ngō 좀 대원 더 따보 희kin에 좀 다다 빌라서 봐 따지진 탈는 원집이 히어스. Here says, this is the view of ego and so forth. All such statements fall into the extremes of internalism and nihilism. So the point of the eco point meditation or absolute truth, if we could say something existing, the problem is then that will be either, if you say existing, then it will be that you are externalism, become like you are extremes of the eternalism, okay, extremes of eternalism. The point of the absolute truth, if we say there's nothing, then you will become nihilism. So therefore, in the point of view, it should be beyond that, because there's no such dualisms and so on and so forth. So then here is one quotation. If it is proclaimed that this is an actual thing, passion, what call this, passion? Aggression will arising from such a view. It will be impatiently and wrongly grasped. From that, contention and controversy will arise. Whatever you are, have some kind of ideas that, or you have this proclaim or whatever, if you say something, then it will be coming all kind of the desires, angers, and so on and so forth, because you grasping something, either nihilism or internalism, and etc. I think in the Hila Tangja may be killing with Yeldon, Lamba Podon, Muzon, Koyo may be Shame, but Oshi Joto. Things in the nature is without assertions, it proclaims no object, has no proclaimer, and is not identified, so anything at all. That is why it is said it is faultless. So in the point of view, if you do have some kind of your ideas, then you will lose your proclams or your vows. It's same as like proclam is vow, kind of.
No, I think they mean proclaiming the truth. Something like if we say this is it, proclaiming the truth.
Okay. Tamja. Then it says, if I had any, this assertion is like kind of vow or killing, assertion. If I had any assertions, and when I would have this fault, but since I have no assertions, I do not have these faults. Okay? So if you say in the point of view, if we say either existing or not existing or something, then you have fault. But then Nangachunas, Ayandevas, Chandrakirtis, and Shantidevas, they are focusing on the Mahayana teachings, men like the middle wheel of the Dharma training, and they don't have this kind of such things, more like the viewpoint of the reality. Teta chutanji nilu sam rongjenji tabi ngowalana, sapa, shiva, tuba, ta tanje, tong tarwe, tamcha wan kinla mete, in doma ne tabaji shawos. It has no exertion or proclamations. It is the purity of the primordial space, though its essence is inseparable, if we divided it in terms of mental exaggerations, they are birth and unbirth. What? Is there something wrong? Yeah, must be something missing. That's why I realized. Because there was not same as what Tibetan saying here. So this natural state or naturally pure essence of all Dhamma is profound, for the dualistic mind cannot really catch, and peaceful because there is no such mental fabrications, and also free from all kind of dualisms and extremes of complexities, extremes of the complexities. So it has no, it has no incisions or proclamations, because you have no such ideas, we have, these incisions and proclamations, these kind of things from the mind, from the conceptions, from the thoughts, from the, then when you have incision, it means that you have here yourself and your ideas, your wishes, and yourself, that your understandings. So we cannot have like that. That's why they're talking about no insertions or proclamations. And then it is purity of the primordial space, though its essence is inseparable. If we divide it to terms of mental subjugations, there are only okay, then this is my next topic actually. Though its essence is inseparable, so therefore there's no such divides, right? If we divide it, it is terms of mental subjugations. They are the birth and unbirth. Births and unbirths. In the money tabaji shaw ngola ewa mejo lu dota ni yena sheba nye sheba meto sheba la sopa. Okay, I think then they're talking about the absolute truth. Of course, here says like there's no such separations, but still, according our mind, we can devise kind of two absolute truths. Okay, two absolute truths. So one, what they're talking is that here Tibet it says Shiva Nyit, Shiva Meto, Shiva La Sopa, Tony Lu Kojons. And they says there is no such births, births. So therefore there is no such remains. Therefore there's no such cessations. So it means that you are talking about just everything emptiness, right? You are more emphasized of the emptiness. So this emphasis of the emptiness is like you more accept emptiness. So therefore you are not totally free from the elaborations or elaborate. I think free from the elaborate. You have still like kind of still you are thinking or emphasize emptiness. So like more you are accepting as emptiness. So therefore this we call namdong with tendam. Okay, I will say namdong with tendam. Like kind of namdong with tendam. What he translated here is but there are birth and the unbirth. So there is a little bit wrong translation. Birth, people have idea of the birth. So now Madhyamaka says birth is not birth. Birth is unborn is correct. That means there is no birth. But birth and unbirth is like two things. There's nothing that meaning here. So the this and everything else are establishing by mind as emptiness. So you are talking about emptiness. So birth is unbirth, remaining is unremaining, and cessation. In the ordinary mind, we have cessation, we have remain, we have birth. So now they're talking about birth is not birth, remaining is not remaining, cessation is not cessation, means they are talking, all phenomena are not existing, you say like that. So this is like more, your mind is into emptiness, which is kind of part of the absolute truth, but not complete. So therefore, I think as complicity of the unborn, they are the unliberation, accountable absolute. So they're talking about uncountable absolute and countable absolute. So I really don't know exactly the translation is like countable absolute or uncountable absolute. But however, in Tibet what we call namdong vitendam. Namdong vitendam means that you are, the part is your absolute truth, but not completely. So therefore, they're talking about here that unliberate, because you are not completely still, but you are more like emptiness. The absolute, really absolute, is beyond emptiness and existing. So therefore, even saying emptiness is in that point is wrong. But that point is like in the complete or really absolute, we not accepting even emptiness. So therefore, in the Sutta says emptiness is emptiness. Therefore. So complicity of unborn, there is the unliberate, accountable absolute, and then unaccountable absolute liberation from all the complicity of born, unborn, and so forth. So this is like, I think you can clearly see, normally when you hear of, okay, when you think that, absolute is nothing, that is like often we can think. So that means that we are not completely, like thinking of the really absolute truth, even you imagine. The absolute must go beyond the existing or not existing, born or not born, and so on, pure and not pure, and so on and so forth. So that is the networking. Now here is one teaching. I think this is also from Nagarjuna's teaching. Though it may be that birth and so forth are obstructed, they are explained in the way according with the truth. What is obstructed?
Well, obstructed is obstructed.
But meaning, what is meaning this sentence?
It's hard to say. Birth and unbirth are obstructed, it says.
There is no unbirth. They just says birth and so forth are obstructed.
I can understand. I think it means that they can't understand it. They're obstructed.
Okay. Kok means is that not existing. They said kok means it's like someone says birth, then someone says there's no birth. It's we call kok. So in the Mahayana teachings, such Mahayana teaching says there's no such birth. So it means that the kok, kok means like bendant or close, like or something. So I don't know these obstacles. And then why they are saying, because this is also already quite close to the like really absolute truth, even though these are the not absolute truth. So before they're talking about the birth is unborn. So that means you are a cock. So that it should be obstructed. I don't know obstructed, it's like that or not. So cock means something you are stopped, you are stopped. Sevi says there's no birth. no death, and so on and so forth, like giving some kind of negative words there. So Mahayana, they stop to accepting of the birth and etc., even though these are the not absolute, but still we say that because they are according with the truth, means like more in close to the absolute truth. So that's why they are saying. And then birdless, birdless, they all completely are specified. It gives the merely symbolic name, the absolute. So this person have the thought become melt of the, like, for example, the thought of the birth is melt, they see like everything birdless. So they one kind of conceptions have become specified. And that is like on the way to understand of really absolute truth. So therefore, these are the called absolute truth. And the translation says this absolute truth is uncountable absolute truth. Uncountable absolute truth, okay? Yes, so that was they're talking about that. Then this next one is talking a little different. Menga no tawa sawa yena yel chui samchi yewe yeshile no wichanda da yima miji chedala soba dade no la mejen rongen be kulo demba hijoto. So you should know that there's two kind of absolute truths. Only we think of the emptiness, no birth, no death, and so on and so forth. We call countable absolute truth. Even though they're not absolute, but it's more close to the absolute truth, so therefore they call absolute truth. Then uncountable absolute truth means we need to beyond either birth or no birth, either no existing, and not existing, and so on and so forth. So those are the we call the uncountable absolute truth. So maybe I think that is enough today at least. Now they're talking about here different subject. Here we have explained the deviation according to the oral instruction from the sphere of Dhammadhatu. Longchen Ranjam, he saying of the more kind of menga instruction means, he says that according means like there's many instructions about these two things, how they appear and what is this and etc. And then there's according to the logic, according to the oral instruction, they are big different. When we use according to the logic, then they have many also logic, many explanation, and so on and so forth. Then according to instruction is more easy way to understand. So here says Longchen, he want to tell these two things also according to the instruction. So which alone are classified as the ground of deviation come apparent aspect like illusion, narration, moon and water and so forth. Since that appearance has the nature of non-existence, this is called relative truth. So the ground, Dhammatha is like really, we say always like space. And then from there, the space has also appearance, like for example, we see like color of the space is green, or not green, but blue, right? So actually, space has nothing but the appearance like blue colors in our eyes. So similarity, the space of the all phenomena, they do have some appearances. Such appearances, the impurity sentient beings, they appear like water, earth, and so on and so forth. And these are the appearances of the ordinary mind, so therefore we call relative, okay? And it means like whatever appears, there's no such nature, and that we call relative. So it is surface of the spotless mirror, just as face of the moon may seem to shine, even though its nature is not established. So, jambas, dharma or phenomena should be none. So the jamba is the name of the person, and he requested something for the teaching for Buddha, and then Buddha told that. So this is also good example. The mirror is like dhammata, totally pure, and there's no such face and things. But then when the person, they use the mirror, and then the person's face appear in the mirror. While you appear, there's no such your face, but same time it's appear your face, your face. So the appearance of face is the relative, and the not existing, the nature of face is not existing in mirror is like more relative. So similarity, the purity of the ground mind is like a mirror, and then there is appear different things, such like samsara and nirvana, whatever. So all appearances are actually relative. Even pure appearances are relative. No, hipala sopa songvinas. Tamapi noar dembar and tonyons. So it is told there and so forth. The ordinary people see appearances as really and truly existing. There's some animals, they see their face is truly existing there. I saw the one short video. It's very nice. One little boy, maybe I think he's from Tibet or some Himalaya region. And then when little boy, he can walk, like maybe he's 3 years old or something, and he saw his shadow, and he was very scared of his shadow. He tried to run away, cry and run away, but his shadow also coming, wherever he goes. He's really very scary. So this kind of things, this just a reflection of his own body, a reflection of our own mind, but we do not understand, and then we think this is something real existing. So therefore here it says, ordinary people seeing appearances as real and true exist. Yeah, this is coming now. The next is yogis, right? Thank you very much. Now I have many teachers. Have to be careful. No jump. Okay, but what's the ordinary mind is what?
But yogis see them as uncertain, merely like a dream.
Which page number 119, 91? Okay, here. But yogis see them as uncertain. So yogi means before, above the what? Above the what? Yogi? Yeah, Sebe. Oh, really? Now I think you know. That's good. Yeah, before the seeing parts appearances we call yogas, the yogis, yoginis, not yoga, and yoginis and yogis. Then what called elusive and evanescent. This English I don't know what it calls, tenuous and sorry, diaphanous. They are simply unexaminables. Nanjabe malam sana ngipar mantobe walvo sasing sana mata pana noyong tana meba jigda hibi gonzo jidemba toba shades. So the yogis, this is continuously. Yogis continuously, what they see, see them as uncertain, and then whatever appearances are there, like merely like a dream, elusive, evanescent, and so on. That is the examinable and called realization of the relative truth. So all these words are even in Tibetan is very difficult to explanation because these are more like your own really experience, your own experience. So I think I heard His Holiness Dr. Jen Rinpoche when he receiving instruction of the nature of mind. And then he came out from the temple. Then for a while he see all this universe like he cannot say unexpressed kind of experience, like something existing, but we cannot say really this is existing, like this and that, and so on and so forth. So this kind of are the more like inner mind speakings. I don't know how you find from those words. If you found, you are really great. So when you realize the relative likes this way, then there's no problem. Whatever you appears, there's no problem. So some person they see demons, some person they see demons. But if you are very scaring, then it's very bad. But if you don't scare, if you see different demons, maybe you are fun with them. You can look and see what they're doing. It's like really kind of, no one else see, but you see, right? So similarity. So whatever appears good, bad, whatever, it doesn't really have problems. It doesn't harm you. So therefore, Malariba says, also no one bounding by the appearances, but bounding by the clingings. So if we see the relative is such like dim, and then all this kind of, when you examination, there's nothing. When you're not examined, there's something. It means like really rainbows. If you really want to find rainbow and, holding rainbows, then that's problem. If you just look, watch, it will become very wonderful, nice, or similarity like that. And then someone who really realization of like relative truth, like this truly, then what will happen is we are not harmed by the condition of appearances. That is one benefit. Other things, when they are mastered, these appearances are established as the beginningless miracle of the being and so forth. It means here they says that you can walk on the sky, walk on the waters, you can do various things. As I heard, I hope it's true, but I don't know exactly. But what I heard is, what I read, the biography, the one Kembo Chushap is very famous, like Sikud Yogi Kembo. He passed away maybe now 20 years ago. But when he talked about all phenomena are like dream, and he used like his hand like this, and his hand went through the down, without stuck on the table. So this kind of, they're talking here, you can move on the everywhere without any stuck. Beginningless of the beginning, so forth, so forth. Kongi yon kimule ba cheddar, no what in your own yeme, but tade be demba me, but lonjon the pobby, top jeans, toba me, but roalas about zantanji. Kongi yon kileme, but cheddar, no what in your own yeme, but tade ba, demba me, but lonjon the pobby. And then that way, here says, not proclaimed as anything at all, whatever appears is natureless. Mind masked with it without any, what is called, definition of the truth. And if we, that way, we obtain wisdom of the noble ones, not if we, I think that way, or through like that, then you obtain the noble ones, the patons, noble one, and the Buddha field and so forth appears. So that way you obtain wisdom and noble ones. And then even the appearances have become more pure and see as always Buddha feels. Even whatever appears, there's no attachment since there is no attached to there to existence, and these are called the two relatives. Two relatives. So wisdom should have both, appearances and also realization of the nature of appearances. So wisdom doesn't mean there's no any appearances. So therefore, now they're talking about how the wisdom has appearancing, whatever. And look, danger don't keep same don't know what on the lobby consultants. That is we call the true relative. True relative. And then he says all conceptions and appearances of the mind attach and to existence and the falsy relative. Those are the falsy relatives. Those are the falsy relatives. Again here, more clear. And then danger may be and then source of arising of the lack of attachment to true existence and all its appearances is mentioned to be the true relative, that is same as above. And then again here, talking about tendamyons, senior rongjin nilu don chue tamje, denye me ba chidi rongjin kons chini, chulu nongwa yime, to nongwa tamle, rongjin me be ngowa hide, yoba no me ba la soba, lo to ins tona, tendambo nilu to xiaose. Then you're talking about for the absolute truth, means absolute truth, or absolute truth is also there is no attachment to the nature of the mind, the natureless way things are, and all the phenomena included within that nature that are like the moon in water. So when you see moon in water, they appear such moon. But at the same time, there's no at all, even kind of partless particle of the moon's things there, There's no like substance of the moon, even partless particle. At the same time, they appear, right? So similarity here they're talking about, included with the, like the moon in water, confused appearances except, what is it called? Except in, what is this? Insofar. Okay. Insofar as they are groundless, mere appearance, are also known to be the natureless essence. So because of that, I think liberation of existence and non-existent and other and such mental concept into space is called realization of the way things are. The realization of the nature as the absolute itself is called mind that realized the absolute. You don't have to say mind, but I think cons cheni okay cons cheni chulun no yime da no da no yeme ba ngowa hide yoba no me bala so ba lo do ins toni then da mani lo to ba ji shaos. It is called the realization or realize the absolute truth. What does it mean mind that realization of the absolute truth? What does it mean that? Why you put mind here?
It means, in this case, it means the person who realizes it, the mind who realizes it. I think that's what it means. In this sentence.
Okay. But I think in Tibetan we don't need to put mind there. But maybe in English you need, sometimes English is a little different, right? Realization is fine. So all the conceptions, ordinary mind are liberated into the Dhammatha. And that is the call, the realization of the absolute truth. Oh, maybe, sorry. They was they talking about mind, okay? we just give name, name their realization of the mind. And here they're talking about the one quotation, Panjaparamata inexpressible of speech or thought, unborn, unceasing, and the nature like the sky, only realized by discriminate awareness wisdom. I prostrate to the mother of the victorious ones of the three times. So he actually he prostrate to what? Mother of what? Okay, mother of victim. It means mother is more panjaparamita, wisdom. So he prostrate to that wisdom. And he bala soba sozonong ripi yehila tendam tetobi tendam demba toba jetos. According to that, discrimination, awareness, wisdom is absolute. And the realization that is realization of absolute truth. And then here this is important. The two truths are not different like two animal horns. So two animal horns never came together, right? All the time. So Dambani is not such that. It came, said Dambani rather. Kundoji nilu chidatan tondu, dazu kundoji nilu chidatan tondu, dazu no chani, kunzo dawa demba maybe chani tendamse. If the way things are in, the relative is like the moon in water. Apparent, the apparent or what? Apparent. What is this? Apparent means what? Looks like. Apparent form of the moon is the relative, and the moon is being we thought to existing is the absolute truth. Then the single nature of these two appearing as that does not exist in the water of the pot or pond or what? Pond. Is that inseparably unit to truth. The pond means like little water or something. So at the same time you appear, but same time there is no such moons. So from aspect of the appearance is we call relative, aspect of the no essence is we call absolute truth. That's the example. All phenomena appear like that way. So their appearance is, if we realize as the moon in water, all appearance, then we know relative. So then you will also know absolute truth. So now okay. Teni demba yemetam songju de teda to bulotela deni songju. Yes, that the single nature of these two, appearing as water does not exist in the water of the pond, is the inseparable unit to truth. The mind realizes that, then we call realization of the two truths. Again, apparently, he used apparently, but normally apparent is something else. What do you mean English apparently? Is this like that, but apparently this is not like that, or something? What is apparently?
I think you could say it looks like that.
Oh, looks like, okay. Looks like phenomena of form, sound, smell. Yeah, of course, this is not good. Who won? So you have to be punishment. If people sick, then what we'll do? Maybe open the doors, I think. That should be okay. Open the doors. Fresh air coming in. And people will be happy. That is we can call equivalent marriage. That's where we need to create our positive actions, right? No, that to below the Dani to below house. No, which is that to the Reya, yell, God, Lodo non Jibalan, Tonon Tonji, Yumi Pidget, no ala, Mepper to Banana, Subi Gambal, Tarulana, somebody shows. This is wonderful, really. You have to meditate on it. All dharmas, okay, I will don't say apparent or whatever, dharma phenomena, such form, sound, smell, taste, and touchable, along with the mental concept and that exert and dance, deny them. What is deny them? Deny them. Okay, assist and deny them. What does mean deny? Okay, deny them are all confused appearances. Those are the what is the called confusion appearances, confusion to it. Like the 8th example of the, if you understand like the 8th example of the illusion, realize that and what appears does not exist is called setting out from the wildness of samsara on the path of liberations. Okay? He was that a hen and Shemozoba, Kunzo, Shezoba, Tandam Shibang, Toby remote, Kunzo, Konanos. If we mentally analyze what does not bear analysis is relative and what does is absolute. What that means, you know, it means that when you're analyzing something on the object, and then object you don't find. So that means that those objects have no bear to analyzing. You know, for example, when you are analyze of the rainbows, the rainbow will disappear. So rainbow has no power to someone analyzed. So similarity, all phenomena, when they analyze, it can be partless particle, it can be no born from the self, other, neither of those, and no cause, and etc. And when you analyze, there is no born, so therefore there is no remain, therefore there is no cessation, because they cannot bear of the analyzing. And those are we call relative. Something you can bear, something you cannot analyzing, that we call absolute truth. So these two things are also the differences, you know, definition and differences of the relative and negatives. So lu hiena he mazoba kunzo he zoba tendam ki toba rumo tendam ki toba rumo de kunzo kona ngendo se. So though that way be said, conceptual details are found to be only relative. So of course, then here they're talking about, even we talk about beer or unbeer of the analyzing. You know, we make devices out. This is relative, this is absolute. What we talk now, all these are the belongs to the relative, because we are talking, we are thinking, we are kind of analyzing absolute and relative and so on and so forth. Ngeno se cheta we chena lu hiezo de lu tabala tu sam ma tu matu na hiezo be tanye ya de mela tu na lo kona yimbi hiezo mo zo nimbo te number ji jon lu hie ba ji lo yi de kona yimbi he de hyonjulis. So if they mentally analyze and does not bear analyze is relative, what does it absolute? Though that may be said, conceptual details are found to be only relative. How so? What bears the analysis of mind either depends or does not depend on mental imputation. What is independent of mental imputation is not classified conventionally as being analyzed. If something thus depends on the mental impression, these two, being or not being the analyze, are not a single aspect, but as mental examination. They are one in being concerned only with mental object, therefore relative. So sometimes what they're talking here is sometimes we mentally we are also focusing of the absolute truth, you know, like something, you know, they're talking about can be bare or can be not bare. You know, if there's something not bare of analyzing, then we say absolute truth. You say absolute truth, and you think that is absolute truth. But all those thinking and saying, and you have some kind of links, but those are still the link of your analyzing. So when we talk about analyzing is intellectual, so still those, even you are analyzing absolute truth, still those are the called relative truth because they are linked with the intellectual mind. I think that was they are talking, okay?
Was there something missing? Something does depend on mental invitation. It looks like it's the end of the sentence missing.
Okay, then I read Tibetan because, you know, now I don't say anything. Sorry? It is only a part. Fourth. Okay, fourth relative. Oh. Okay. Then there's not much missing. Okay, sorry, then there's missing. Where is missing? What you said? Third. Okay, mental intuition. And then missing something. Okay. Yeah. And so it means that it's the absolute truth is it has to be like beyond the dualism mind. So when we talk about this mind, it's always dualism. So dualism mind, he cannot kind of linked with also so something like beyond the dualism's object. So that is the topic here, okay? Here this Bodhicitta Avatara is 9th chapter. The absolute is not within the sphere of mind. It is maintenance and mind is merely relatives. What is maintenance? What is maintenance?
Means like said.
Sorry?
Maintained means like it is said that.
Oh, okay. That mind merely relative. So this our dualism mind is good for the relative. So absolute we cannot. So therefore, many teachings says inconceivable. You know, when they talk about inconceivable, what that means? The dualism mind cannot really imagine, cannot really focusing, because those are the beyond our this movement of the conception. So it's like big meaning there, okay? So ndo tama lo tuba ton tuba la nwa namna kunzo namna tengo kunzo yin la tuba che ji zonzon hi bi lo nong kun tendam hi nanjo pala ta des. Now that is how it is explained. The brief, this is also good. The complicity of mind and appearances of complicity are the viewpoint of relative. And the absence of the complicities and the mind in the which a grasping and physician have collapsed and the appearances of the such a mind, they call mind, but this means it's wisdom, are all known to be yoginis as absolute. You know, yoga is absolute and yogi is who have realization. So since the two truths are inseparable, what is separators, what active, what is called, what is relative, therefore may also be absolute. The main point being that these are different aspects of the single essence. Okay, then ye may be consortium tendant on cups be heroes. Cups be heroes. They don't do but tat negisos. Okay, so therefore the relative is not always relative. You know, when your mind becomes truly go beyond, all appearances are relative, but that are also wonderful and good one, because in that kind of yogi's point of view, there's no separation. So whatever is the unique of the two truths, so therefore they are one essence. So therefore relative can be also absolute truth. The key law the ngovachi don't tell the koyo maya jon, jiten tade yoba tar ngovachi ji yoba sedas. So here they're talking about one essence. And this doesn't, here says, this doesn't mean that actually it's one essence, what the yogis, you know, accepting, but why they're talking one essence or single essence is more for the when he talk to the sentient beings. You know, we like 1 or 2 or 3, it's like this kind of numbers. So therefore, Buddha says single essence. So it looks like he accepting a single essence, and same time he says it has to be free from the all liberations. So it's kind of contradiction, right? But this is also one of that you have to know. The keys, one of the keys, you know, what we thought about this yesterday, the keys. So this is only for the four worldly beings. The in understandings for understand of the worldly beings, and they're talking about one essence, but it doesn't mean there's one thing, something. So that was the talking. Clubs of all kind of supports. That's good. You don't know what you said. Tenda kill on what kunzo no other. Tenda no, tenda mono what the kunzo mono you this. So according to the what is proclaimed here through the essence has no what is mean singularity or difference at all. According to worldly usage, one nature is says. According to that is proclaimed by such a doctrine, what appears according to the relative either appears according to the absolute or does not appear according to the absolute, and then in what is this now? Either case has been fault of the not appearance according to the relative. So this was now why the Nagarjuna or master says this one essence, and that because of only just for understanding of the worldly beings. But this is not something that, you know, Nagarjuna or great master saying this are one. You know, they already taught they don't have any such kind of ideas, right? Therefore, they said they have no fault. Well, so nowadays one essence is the just only because of the four sentient beings, and not for them kind of some clingings or clinging or accepting. If they do accept like this one, then what problem is then? It can be problem that if whoever see the relative, then also it has to, they also have to see the absolute truth because they are one essence. And whoever not see the absolute truth, and they should not see also relative truth because they are one essence. And then many faults. If the masters or yogis, they kind of their own idea, or they kind of this English I don't know, but this one essence is more like anyway for introduction to others, not for themselves. They have no proclaims. It's proclaims, right? What is the proclaims?
Proclaim is to say.
More like they have some kind of view. Okay, maybe it's better that was not their kind of main view. You know, the one is mainly they are talking to sentient beings, to understanding of that. If they have that kind of view, then there must be absolute truth. You know, absolute truth. Even if you say one, then they cannot be changed. So therefore, whoever not see the absolute truth, and they cannot be see also relative truth, because they are one. And whoever say relative truth, they also have to say absolute truth, because they are one. If we say yes, then the big problems, because we can be maybe don't see anything, or can be we say absolute truth, then big problem, right? So I think maybe we could, I have to check now how much left. So 20, 30, 40, 50. That maybe this, I think I will use these quotations, okay? The year come no tendam senyen chi no tade taban senyen do chi no tade tan ni kondo ba teda senyen manya ki ba yens. So in the absolute truth, they do not accept even one or separate and etc. There is quotation. As for the compounded realm and marks of the absolute truth, these have separate marks of the one and different. But what is being conceived as one and different, they have entered into improprieties. Hope you understood that, what they're talking. If don't, then the next quotation is, according to this, since one and many and thought to be inseparable, is reality they are of non-dual natures. So we talk about one, we talk about many, we have many division or no division, all in the reality there's no such like that. So then there's also, this text says magic of the illusion or something, absolute and relative, inseparable, are the great mandala that is the truth. Hibitenos. Deno. Yeah, I think then maybe we can stop here. Sunam Daya Damja Levanya Dana Nyebe Danam Pamke Kegananja Baland Subhan Zolam Dova Dova Shoy Yonja Zamjoram Bajem Ayeban Yuban Yambaram Bayon Gonde Gondam Beva